Work-life balance is a myth, but work-life integration is a possibility. There are certain phrases that catch on quick. Everyone starts repeating them, and they are all over social media. Work-life balance is one of those phrases. Everybody is saying, but no one is actually doing it or knows how to do it. Maybe it is time to try work-life integration because balance is a myth. Balance sounds amazing in theory. We all want what it promises: calm, order, peaceful. We have this idea of what balance must look like. We've chased it like it is the final boss level of adulthood. But we fail day after day. We tell ourselves if we could just find the right planner, right system, right schedule, then everything will fall into place. There is a reason we can't achieve balance because it is a myth. We aren't failing to find it. The version being sold was never meant for real life. It assumes clear lines, equal categories, and predictable days. It assumes your responsibilities sit politely in separate boxes and wait their turn. That is adorable. Also false. So instead of chasing balance, I want to offer a better goal: work-life integration. Not a perfect life, not a flawlessly managed life, not a color-coded guru-approved life where everyone thrives at all times and nobody ever has a meltdown. Just a life where you have moments of peace, calm, and one you enjoy. Let's talk about work-life integration. Hello, Rebel Moms. Welcome to the Life Unboxed podcast. I am Jody the mom, wife, homeschool mom of 6, and successful mom entrepreneur, bringing you information and inspiration on raising kids, running a business, and keeping your sanity. You can find the episode show notes, Rebel Mom checklist to help you homeschool confidently, tools to make your work from home life easier, and more information at lifeunboxed.blog. Let's get into the show. Work-life balance versus work-life integration. Working from home and homeschooling is not easy. We plan and we become time management experts. We are thinking through how to get it all done while still giving time and attention equally to all the things. If you're like me, you've probably watched the TED Talks on work-life balance. You've read the blog posts and the books on being a mom boss. But at the end of the day, you've come to the realization that it doesn't work. I remember watching a TED Talk about work-life balance, and it was good. He said the line that I love to repeat to my kids: if you don't plan your life, someone else will plan it for you, which is gold. But the crux of him finding this unicorn that we are all searching for was that he quit his job. That's how he reached the mythical place of balance. For normal people who actually need to work and make money, quitting our jobs is just not an option. So what is realistic? How can we run a business or businesses, homeschool, and juggle it all? I ask myself this all the time because I want to do well in my businesses, and my number one priority is my family. Some days it seems like I've set an impossible goal, but this isn't going to be accomplished through work-life balance. That idea is dead. Work-life integration just might be the answer we are looking for. Work-life integration is a life where work, homeschool, and home responsibilities can function together in a way that is realistic for your season. It isn't dividing time equally between these things, like we are supposed to do with work-life balance, but it is understanding the season and integrating all the things together. I get it. It sounds impossible even as I say it, and it is not going to happen overnight. This is going to take intentional planning on our part, time, and adjustments. But work-life integration doesn't have to be a myth. It can be a reality. Stop measuring yourself against a fake standard and start building a life that actually supports your family. Because work-life integration is a better goal. The idea of work-life balance left us feeling that if everything is going to be properly balanced, then it all must be equal. Work-life integration is not about making everything equal. It is about making everything work together without losing your mind in the process. That is the shift. Instead of trying to divide life into perfect halves, integration allows you to think in terms of rhythms, priorities, and seasons. It gives you room to build a life around what is true, not around what sounds good or looks good on social media. This is not about a lack of discipline, an inability to manage your time, or wanting it enough. The villain is the lie that balance means every area of life should get equal attention and equal energy all the time. That lie keeps us stuck. It makes you feel like you are always dropping the ball, because by its definition, you are. No one can sustain equal investment in every role every day. Not when life is seasonal, children are human, and work has deadlines. Integration gives you a different path. It says family matters, work matters, homeschool matters, rest matters, and the goal is not to make them all equal on paper. The goal is to build a realistic framework where they can coexist. That will look different in every season. If you have little kids, integration may look like short work blocks, simple homeschool, and letting a lot of other things be good enough. If you have teens, it may mean a more flexible school rhythm and a heavier emotional load. If your business is in a busy season, you may temporarily tighten some things at home. If your family is in a hard season, work may need to shrink. That is not failure. That is wisdom. Integration is not lowering the bar. It is finally being honest about the shape of your life. Okay, now that we know the difference between work life balance and work life integration, let's talk about the first rule of work life integration: know your priorities. If everything is important all the time, then nothing gets the focus it deserves, and you end up spinning in circles. That is why priorities matter. One of the fastest ways to feel overwhelmed is to treat every item on your to-do list like it deserves front row attention. But that is not how real life works. Some things matter more in this season. There are things that matter more today. Some things feel urgent but are not actually important. And some things are important but do not need to happen right this minute. I have to tell myself this one all the time. You cannot prioritize everything. So start with the big picture. Ask yourself, what matters most right now? Maybe it is stabilizing homeschool. Maybe it is growing your income. Maybe it is supporting a struggling child. Maybe it is protecting your health before you end up running on fumes and sarcasm alone. Those seasonal priorities help you make better daily decisions. Then each day, ask a smaller question. What actually has to happen today? Not what would be nice, not what your inner overachiever would enjoy conquering, not what would make you feel like a productivity queen for 6 minutes. What truly matters today? For many moms, that may be 3 real priorities: one essential work task, one essential homeschool goal, and one essential life task. That is enough to anchor a day. This is also where you have to give yourself permission to let some things be good enough. Because here is the truth: integration gets a whole lot easier when you stop insisting that every area of life deserves your highest level effort every single day. Some days dinner is simple. Some days homeschool is minimal but meaningful. Some days work gets the best block of your focus. Some days the best thing you do is keep everyone alive and reasonably clothed. That still counts as real life. The second rule of work life integration is build your day around rhythms, not fantasy schedules. If rigid schedules make you want to throw your planner out the window, it may be because your life requires rhythm more than rigidity. That was a hard lesson for me to learn because structure sounds so responsible. It sounds like the adult thing to do. Surely, if I just planned every minute of my day, everything would run smoothly. Except children did not get that memo. Neither did clients, neither did laundry, neither did life. Minute by minute scheduling can work for some people. However, for many work from home and homeschool moms, rhythms or routines work better because they give structure without pretending your day will unfold in a perfectly controlled way. If your schedule only works on the kind of day where nobody interrupts, spills, complains, forgets, gets emotional, or needs help, then your schedule is not realistic. It is performance art. Boundaries. Keep work-life integration on the rails. Work-life integration does not mean work gets to ooze into every corner of your life. Create personal boundaries. This matters because people sometimes hear integration and assume it means total blending with no boundaries. as if the goal is to answer emails during dinner, work from your phone at the park, and think about clients while pretending to listen to your child explain who the fifth vice president of the United States was. No, integration only works when boundaries hold it up. Because you work from home, you need stronger boundaries, not weaker ones. You need clear signals for when you are working, when you are available, and when you are done. That may mean setting a shutdown time for work and actually following through. Boundaries are not harsh, they are protective. They protect your attention, they protect your relationships, they protect your ability to be present. This is also why family expectations matter. Your family does not need a military briefing, but they do need to know what the rhythm is. When is mom working? When are we doing school? What can be interrupted? What has to wait? Children handle routines better when they know what to expect. And honestly, so do adults. You also have to protect your attention, not just your time. Because one of the sneakiest problems with working from home is that even when you are technically done, your mind is still half in work mode. You are thinking about the email you forgot, the idea you want to jot down, the project that still needs polishing. Your body may be in the room, but your brain is off wandering through tomorrow's to-do list. That is why shutdown routines help so much. Give your work a place to end so your mind can follow. Work-life integration is not one size fits all. One of the best things about integration is that it does not demand a one size fits all. The point is not to build a perfect routine once and never touch it again. You have to keep adjusting so your life still fits the season you are actually living. Most moms do not need another lecture on managing their time better. They need permission to stop chasing a standard that was never built for their life. That is where the emotional heart of this really sits. Because so much of the pain around balance is not just practical, it is personal. It makes moms feel like they are failing. Like if they were more disciplined, more focused, more organized, more whatever, they would finally get it right. But the truth is, many of you are doing an enormous amount already. The problem is not that you are not trying. The problem is that you have been handed a definition of success that does not fit the life you are living. Work-life integration is the framework that lets you define success by faithfulness, intention, flexibility, and sustainability instead of fake perfection. Work-life balance sounds nice, but for most work from home and homeschool moms, it falls apart the second real life shows up. That is why work-life integration makes more sense. Instead of trying to give every area of life equal attention at all times, integration helps you build a life around routines, priorities, and seasons. It gives you permission to stop chasing perfection and start creating something that actually works for your family. So, if work life balance has left you feeling like you are constantly dropping the ball, maybe the problem is not you. Maybe the problem is the myth. Let the fake standard go and start building a life that is realistic, sustainable, and full of a little more peace. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out lifeunboxed.blog and download your Rebel Moms checklist. And like and subscribe wherever you are listening. Happy homeschooling and working from home. See you next time.